Here in round 1, we have the choice, and we'll play first, and we'll mull the 1-lander, and we'll mull the 1-lander. And I guess we'll keep this 1-lander. Can't even take a land. Do I want to go to 4? I guess I keep this one. I mean, if I rip 2 lands, I can remove something and play an Orchard Spirit if one of them's a forest. This seems like a 5-lander worth keeping. Or a 5-card hand worth keeping, I guess. Alright. So, we're at least in Reeve's Soul territory now. Actually, I have Gather the Pack, don't I? Problem is, I don't want to mill 5 lands, but it still seems like I should probably play Gather the Pack. Oh. That is rough. It could come back to haunt me, but that could have just as easily been not 4 lands. It just happened to be 4 lands. I guess at least my opponent's not playing anything. Leaf Gilder. Alright, well. It seems like a good draw. Playing against Tragic Arrogance .deck. Well, got a good Reeve's Soul target, so that's the good news. My other option was to attack and then Eyeblight Assassin if he didn't block. Or if he did block, rather, but I don't like it. Alright. Probably finding Suppressive Bonds is my guess. Which means we're just going to slam a Orchard Spirit. Try and get our evasion on. As predicted, Suppression Bonds. I think we still drop the Orchard Spirit. I could play the Deadbridge Shaman, but if he wants to play Suppression Bonds on my Orchard Spirit, I still think that's okay. We have a way to break it. We have another Orchard Spirit in hand, and I feel like he's not incentivized to use Suppressive Bonds on a Deadbridge Shaman, mostly because it's expensive and probably not worth it. Alright. Battle Priest is a bit of an annoyance, but we still attack into it, and we got the Assassin, so not too bad. And we're a land away from Vastwood Gorger, actually, but unfortunately he's got the, does have the Suppressive Bonds. I'll trade an Orchard Spirit for a Battle Priest. I'm okay with that. I must say I'm surprised by that. That kind of indicates to me that my opponent has another Suppression Bonds, or a Swift Reckoning, or a Celestial Flare, because it seems like a pretty preemptive suppression bonds. I see. So he's just looking to get rid of blockers. Okay. Fetid Imp plus Deadbridge Shaman seems pretty good. Okay, so he did in fact have the second suppression bonds. We're going to take 5 damage here, which is a bit of a problem since this gets bigger. But if I can rip a land, I get to play Vastwood Gorger. If I can't rip a land, I get to play Orchard Spirit and leave up Fetid Imp, so it's not like the worst. All right. Have a feeling we're going to be doing some trading. So we have Vastwood Gorger, man. I think this is the turn to slam it. We don't get to leave up Fetid Imp, but I think we do need to force him to answer Vastwood Gorger, which hopefully he cannot do. But if he can, so be it. I should have, I guess, attacked with Fetid Imp, because I'm not going to block with it, per se, here. No attacks is good news. Okay, let's think there's a good chance he's got Celestial Flare, so I'm at least going to want to attack with 2 creatures. So I think the play is Orchard Spirit go. I don't want to attack with Fetid Imp, but I feel comfortable attacking with Gorger and Orchard Spirit next turn to more comfortably. Well, attacking with Vastwood Gorger, I guess, means he just double blocks here, and I can only kill one of his guys, so maybe I am, well, maybe I should, I guess, start to attack with the Imp. Alright, I think we are going to attack with Imp and Spirit. Play a land and go. So he was off blue mana that whole time? That's pretty surprising. Stratus Walk. Alright. So he gets to cantrip. So I guess the play, well, we're going to leave back the Fetid Imp, but I guess we are double attacking with Gorger and Orchard Spirit, I believe. Shaman of the Pack, which is actually decent here. I guess we will swing with Gorger Spirit. This kind of plays around Celestial Flare as well. Shaman of the Pack is actually kind of good here as a means to make my opponent lose quite a bit of life. I have a feeling we've got a Celestial Flare on the horizon here, but it's not the worst for us. It does mean we'll lose our Fetid Imp if he only attacks with the Knight, but I think it is correct. Well, we're clearly doing some blocks here, so we'll go... Can he deal 5 damage to us? He's probably board wiping. I'm going to assume he's going to play Tragic Arrogance. But would he want a pre-combat attack if he had that? Probably not. I can double block the Heart Beast, but then this gets Renown. We don't really need Leaf Gilder anymore. I think I'm just going to take the 2. So maybe now he Tragic Arrogance, and he just picks our Deadbridge Shaman and his Totem Guide. I think Totem Guide is still the right one if he does have the Tragic Arrogance. Oromancer bringing back Stratus Walk. Okay. It's pretty good value for him. But then he can't block if he casts it on Oromancer, so it makes more sense to cast it on the Heart of Beast. That could cost my opponent some... I guess he still gets to block Orchard Spirit, but I probably still would have done it on the Heart of Beast since he actually needs another blocker here. And Free Blade, okay. So he can block our Spirit. Wow, Wait is just a fantastic draw. I think that's actually lethal too. He has Celestial Flare mana up, but we're just gonna get rid of the Free Blade. Swing with... He can't crack back for lethal. He wasn't even dead, actually. Or, I guess he was dead, so he didn't have the Celestial Flare? We just won on a Mull-to-5? Shocking. Alright, well, Conclave Naturalist looks pretty phenomenal. He is running Stratus Walk, but I don't think I want to bring in Aerial Volley just because of that. But then again, seems like our opponent's deck has to be practically mono-white because he was playing Plains almost the entire game. You saw one island. He played all white spells other than a Stratus Walk. Just seems likely that Aerial Volley is not correct yet. I wish I had more Naturalists or more anti-enchantment, I guess. But I don't. I think our best bet is to keep it the same. I don't really have more early plays. Bringing in sideboard against Flyers does not seem correct yet. Not if he's just splashing blue for... I don't know what he's splashing blue for besides Stratus Walk. Okay, we'll keep it like this. Alright, well, we get to keep this, which is good news. And we have a good turn progression, which is also good news. To go Leaf Gilder into Orchard Spirit, or Leaf Gilder into Read the Bones, depending on what our opponent does. If our opponent plays the Topin Free Blade, I think I do offer the Leaf Gilder. We've got more of the late game plan in mind. Alchemist Vial. Well, it's not the scariest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I'd like to cast Read the Bones next turn, but I think it's probably in our best interest to slam a Orchard Spirit. It does let me do a Read the Bones into a Gather the Pack, or vice versa, but I'm not sure which I'm supposed to do. What order, rather. Okay, Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. I kind of want to get a bit aggressive with that. We know he runs Stratus Walk. He does have Alchemist Vial, though. I guess because he has the onboard thing that turns off my blocker, I should probably just play a Orchard Spirit and go. He can force me to block with a Leaf Gilder, but I think I'm okay with that since I've got the lands in hand that let me cast anything in my deck. I probably want to gather the pack first, see what creature I get, and that can help me sort of decide what I want to do with Read the Bones. Like dig for, removal spells, or certainly not land, but Languish or something. I'll make this trade. I still think I'd rather have Leaf Gilder at the moment. It lets us play both of our spells. War Oracle's pretty good. Alright, let's go gather the pack first. Naturalists or Wormauler. We saw Suppression Bonds, so I think Naturalist is going to be the card here. Put these away. Although I guess now he knows about the Naturalist, but whatever. We'll Read the Bones. Bottom that. Keep the Gorger. And a Wild Instincts to boot. Alright, well, not the worst, actually. So next turn we can go Gorger. Then we have Naturalists if he has the Suppression Bonds. We have Wild Instincts. Even if he does have the Suppression Bonds, we have Wild Instincts, which is also good. Taking some lifelink damage here, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult road to recovery, but we should be capable. All right, finding the Suppression Bonds, I imagine, but we'll be able to play Gorger and then play Naturalist, so his Suppression Bonds will be irrelevant, essentially. All right, let's go Gorger here. I guess next turn I can play Deadbridge Shaman plus Wild Instincts, so I'm not even in a big hurry to play Naturalist. I do want to get that War Oracle off the board. Gaining 7 life is pretty big. So he's got Celestial Flare here. I kind of need my Vastwood Gorger, so I think I'm just not going to block. I mean, it's a pretty clear... It's obviously a combat trick of some sort. I don't think my opponent would attack with a 2-5 into a 5-6 if he didn't have anything or some sort of game plan. It seems like a Celestial Flare. I'm not in a great position to play around it right now, but I think it's in our best interest to keep our Vastwood Gorger. So let's go Wild Instincts first. Oh, that's too bad. So Turn to Frog turned out to be the card we played around, which is really bad for us in this spot, but unfortunately just worked out in a bad way for us. So we play the Deadbridge Shaman, and I guess we're in just a pretty bad spot now. I was definitely expecting Celestial Flare. I wasn't expecting the Turn to Frog. I think I do kind of have to take the damage here, as much as I loathe to take this damage. If I block, what's my road to recovery? I guess I have to. I really just, as much as I hate to make this chump, I just don't think it's possible to take 6 damage this game right at that point when I'm at 9 life and possibly hope to come back. Alright, that was a good draw. So we have 7 mana. Guess we go Naturalist. Yep. Bust the Vial. And then we'll play Imp and pass. All right. So there's something I can aerial volley. So I think we trade with Oracle and trade with Thunderclap Wyvern and hope to find a fatty to block the Hartebeest. Well, that's not the worst. Oh, well, that's pretty bad. All right. So I go Deadbridge Shaman Leaf Gilder. He bonds is the Shaman, and then I have to block a Harbinger and take 4 and go to 1. It's pretty rough. I'm not quite sure how I come back in this, but I might as well play it out. I guess we are ahead on the clock, so I've got that going for me. Well, unfortunately, I didn't think there was a road to recovery pre him playing Topin Freeblade, but I'm going to let him know about the Force Mage just on the... We actually... No, I was going to say we had an out, but Languish wouldn't have actually brought us back in this because it doesn't kill the Heart of Beast. But Languish is still a very good card in this particular match. So, can I do anything game 3? Our opponent is blue, but only the Thunderclap Wyvern, which doesn't seem worth bringing in. Doesn't seem worth bringing in a aerial volley for that. Macabolts doesn't seem very good against the suppression bonds is the problem. But Double Wild Instincts does, but that turn to Frog was just so brutal. I think we keep it the same. I just don't really see a sideboard plan that's good for this match. Try it again. All right, game 3. Let's try this out here. Yeah, let's keep. Seems like a decent hand. We have early blockage for Topin Freeblade shenanigans. We have Construct into Shaman into Yiva's Force Mage, which seems not too bad. Ooh, Shaman's actually a fine draw as well. No Topin Freeblade, that's nice. So next turn, depending on what he plays, we're gonna drop the Force Mage and so we're gonna do the Force Mage on the bonded construct. Because it's our most underwhelming creature. And if he has a bounce spell, we could replay it. Alright, it's actually not too bad for us, to be honest. He does get to draw a card off of that, but we still get some damage. We still push damage through. We have a much more highly developed board state than our opponent. And we have a Shaman of the Pack, which lightning bolts our opponent at this point pretty comfortably. So certainly attacking into Topin Freeblade. That's actually interesting. I'm not even gonna... I think I'm just gonna Reave Soul. Does he have the Tragic Arrogance? We didn't see it games 1 and 2, so I'm gonna say no. But I don't even want to offer the trade. I think we just want to really push damage through here, so let's get in for 7 and play a Shaman of the Pack. Just in case he does have the Tragic Arrogance, I want to at least get some value out of Shaman. What does he have? Oh. Alright. Well, I guess I should have pre-combated the Shaman of the Pack, but that's okay. Alright, let's Shaman now first. If he has the 2/3 flyer, I think we're just gonna allow it. He still ends up... It's unfortunate that he does, I admit, but he still takes 5 damage, which halves him. And we get to play an Orchard Spirit, so it is correct to attack there. Alright, unfortunately for us, Battle Priest is quite good for him there, especially since he has the Wyvern. Play Shaman number 2, we can max get in for 4 damage, so I think we just sit back. We can draw Wild Instincts, which is actually quite good here. Orchard Spirit number 2 gets slammed, and we pass. I can max get in for 4 damage. Not enough for the casualties we take. Or I guess it would be 7 damage, wouldn't it? Because he couldn't block with the Thunderclap Wyvern. Yeah, I guess I should have attacked. Alright, let me think about this. So I swing with everything. He blocks. Well, or I just play Wild Instincts. So even if he has Turn to Frog, it's fine. We just take out the Wyvern. Guess we only get him for 7. So I could have done that with the Deadbridge Shaman and make him discard. Might have been better. All right. Well, managed to take the match anyway. Wow. Actually, I want to see what we would have gotten off that gather. We would have gotten a Vasswood Gorger too. Jeez. Well, we actually drew pretty nicely in that final game there and managed to get the win. So, all right. We'll see you in round 2.